So we want to transition to our World Café. So we had conversations that we had yesterday in the sixth track. We empower movement and change. We have safety, security, and protection of defenders. We had movement and resources. We had building from below, grassroots organizing. We had power in political education. And we had Pan-African and international solidarity. And we also recognize that before lunch, we went into our different campaign tracks. So we now want to start to converge these different conversations. And the guidance for the World Café is that there are certain tables that have been created. So if I look at this table, our thing, for example, says stream 1, right down. Power, movement, and change. It's right here at this table. And then, is there anyone sitting with? Okay, you can explain it? Yeah? Okay, so Nisha is going to just tell us what you think, Nisha. I want to hear your voice.
All right, I'll give a bit more instruction in a minute, but what I'm doing is I'm putting different streams on 6 tables. So we try to spread out across the room so that we can have generative conversations and we're not talking over each other.
So basically on those tables, what we are trying to add to, it's an invitation for you to name 2 or 3 things that connects all of us from what we had from the very beginning of our conversation, the tracks we did yesterday, the different panels, the different interventions, even from your own campaign, like 2 to 3 things that connect us. Because from the very beginning, we said we want to emphasize our common ground, our foundation, the intersection for our work. So it's not necessarily about the things that we do separately or that separate us. So things like power, things like agency, these are some of the things that connect us. So 2 to 3 things that you had that connect us. And how or what are the implications of those things to these critical tracks that we are tracking, which is power, movement, and change, the table that Misha is going to put here, safety, security, and protection, movement and resourcing, building from below, narrative power and political education, Pan-African and international solidarity. So that's really the conversation we have. Would you like to give better instructions?
Yes, I will give further instructions. Before I do, can you quickly take out your phones and message your comrades that are not yet in the room so they don't miss out on the discussions that we're about to have. Ago! We've learned so much in Ghana, so I have learned that my name is 𝗕𝗿𝗄𝗏, which means I am a firstborn and I was born on a Tuesday. Alright, so 𝗕𝗿𝗄𝗏. I'm going to just let you know very quickly what we do World Café for, okay? So this is an intervention or a methodology that's used for fostering or creating a space for generative conversations in big and small groups. And you can all agree with me that we're quite a large number today, and we have been over the last 3 days. Why do we do this? We want to surface collective wisdom of the large group. And I can tell you we had 287 participants in this baraza. We also had representatives from 34 countries, which is a 70% increase from our last baraza where we had 20%. So please can you give yourselves a round of applause. We also want to create a space for deep reflection and for exploration and action. So really this afternoon, because we've done the deep reflection, we've done the exploration, we want to go into the action planning around the 2 prompts that Briggs has given us. What are the principles? I was very excited listening to the conversations over day 1 and day 2 at this morning because they step well into the principles. So these are not principles that are being imposed on us from outside. But I'll tell you what I mean. We are exploring, number one, conversations that matter. So we've had rich conversations yesterday, the day before, and this morning. And the question now is, what are the pathways forward, like Briggs lecture? The second principle, we are encouraging each person to contribute. So in World Café, we are going to meet in circle. There are 6 topics, so we hope to see these 6 circles dotted around the room. And we also want to encourage participation. Why are we meeting in circle? Rachel, in her plenary on the first day, said to us that we need to manage tower and rank, and when we come into circle, we must put our titles as done when we come into these conversations. Him also said, and we need to decolonize the pedagogy of how we convene from big platforms and stages to meeting in circle, contributing our thoughts and experiences. That's the second principle. The third principle is we are connecting diverse people and ideas. And 𝗕𝗿𝗇, I think from the minorities, the men in action, there is still the different people and the different groups we have here. He said we've got visionaries, we've got builders, caregivers, disruptors, healers, storytellers, guides, experimenters, weavers, and advocates. And I'm sure each one of us identifies in that group. So we want to distill all of our unique ideas. We want to listen together for patterns and insights and deeper questions. And Britt, in his training on day 1, said, we are charged to have conversations that reflect historical ambition, that reflect boldness, and recognition of the responsibility on our shoulders over the next 100 years. So while you are having conversations, there are flip charts on each of the tables, there are markers on each of the tables. Please make sure you are listening collectively and jotting down the streams that you are seeing from the conversations. And we are making the collective knowledge visible. So we will have a chance to wrap up and bring out what the conversations have been. And then very quickly in closing, yes, and then moving around. So we are going to gather in those 6 circles. We want to ideally have about 20 people per circle, and then we are going to do 2 ways. First round, we sit around a circle, we've got the hosts of the 6 sessions. They will have 1 or 2 minutes to let us know what the conversation has been in the last 2 days around that stream, and then open it out for conversation. I'm going to ask that we do 2 things. Number 1, contribute, meaningfully contribute with passion. But number 2, let's be conscious of those in the circle that are hesitant a little bit to bring in their voices, and let's encourage them to speak. On the flip side, let's also be conscious of those that are coming into the conversation with so much to say. We appreciate everything that they are bringing, but they really invite us to be each our brother and sister's keeper. If someone has been speaking for more than 2 minutes, gently and respectfully, just tap them on the shoulder as a sign to say, comrade, please start wrapping up your statements and inviting someone else in. So, when we have shared for 15 minutes in the first meeting, I will come back up and invite us to stand, except for the 2 people, that is the host and the scribe. They will remain at that table. The rest of us will have a chance to go to a different table and go through the process again. And when you come to the new table, the host again will give 2 minutes to explain what the discussions have been, and then open it out for you to come and add your reflections and collective action as well. So I will also walk around the room, as I'm sure some may still have some questions, but I'm going to invite us now, maybe DJ play us something to get people moving, and we'll stand up and go to the 6 tables where you see a flip chart. And what we are looking for is that at the end of the World Café, you've managed to contribute to 3 streams. The first stream you contributed to yesterday, and then we will have leave in this room for you to contribute to the other streams. All right, so DJ, and let's all be upstanding and find one table that has a title. We sit there together for the next 15 minutes. Thank you.
I think 𝗕𝗿𝗇 this morning when she spoke, talked about the fact that we cannot live without water. And water affects all of us. From the youngest one in the home to the older people. Every one of us. Doesn't matter how, it does affect you. So we have very limited time. I was hoping to give a little bit of a longer introduction and welcoming you more, but because of the single time, we really cut the introduction short so that we can get into the meat of what we are about and where we are heading and what we are asking of Africa. This is what we're doing. We are asking 𝗕𝗿𝗇 to advise us. So 𝗕𝗿𝗇 are going to come up and give short inputs around who we are, what we've been doing, who is involved, and then how we're thinking of taking things forward, but we also want input from everybody that is here. So thank you very much. Welcome to this place, and we hope you will find it useful. Yeah?
I will make the water sound from 𝗕𝗿𝗇.
Come and here.
Good afternoon, comrades.
Afternoon.
So we were supposed to have had an opening remarks, basically to set the context for this discussion. But then that will come up later because 𝗕𝗿𝗇, who is supposed to do that, seems to be in another meeting. So I'll just go ahead with the state of the campaign. That is the water justice movement on the continent. And hopefully we'll get a context before we delve into the discussion that will follow suit by a well-composed panel. For the Africa Water Justice Network, the values that brings us together and keeps us together is the first one, water as a human right. We all believe deeply that water is a human right. And flowing from that, we also believe that no one on any basis should be denied access.
invite you, group by group, the host and the scribe. Yes, group by group. I'm going to invite stream 1 on power, movements, and change. If your facilitator can please come up with your rapporteur and your flip chart that you were scribbling and doodling, and I will give you 2 minutes to give a report back. Did you have someone you were working with?
For the first thing.
That's all right. I can help you. And so your 2 minutes starts now.
So the group that we were in was looking at power, movements, and change. It was building on the workshop that we had yesterday that was really looking at a power analysis in order to be able to inform movement building and movement strategy. So we had a rich and engaging conversation, and this is not in any logical order. So we spent a fair amount of time talking about how it is that we build power and how it is that we build power in order to shift power, right? Because movements are about change, movements are about action. Within that, we spoke a lot about investing in movement leadership and what it means to have a leadership that is rooted in the values of a transformatory agenda, so that we are living in this moment, the world that we are wanting to see in the future. We spoke about the importance of learning or education for liberation, and what it means to also invest in documentation as part of thinking about our own knowledge production and the development of our own learning praxis. We had a conversation about resourcing that was very robust, I might add, and there were a lot of questions raised around what is resourcing, resourcing for whom and for what, the fact that sometimes financial resources can divide movements and fracture and weaken them. And then we also spoke about the power that comes with money and how it is that we can have more honest conversations about what that means, particularly when we think about the NGOization of our movements. We spoke about how it is that we can build power by linking across issues, so that we are working across our diversities and across our movement issues for a shared longer-term goal that allows us to sustain our struggles for a broader set of liberatory visions, I guess, that we felt in the conversation was important. We then went into, and that's about sustaining movement power, right? We then went into a deep conversation about fragmentation. Fragmentation within movements internally, fragmentation that happens within the broader civil society space, and what that means in terms of divide and rule, in terms of co-optation, in terms of general weakening. And then we had a deep conversation about what it means to liberate the left, particularly from a gender perspective, but also in terms of how it is that we build an integrated cadre of movement leaders and actors who can speak for each other on different issues, so that we are not fragmenting based on issues, but we are holding a broader set of visions that are rooted in a political ideology, which is an ideology of change and self-determination, liberation, justice, and freedom. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much for your reflections. And I hope that we are all listening out in our report backs for what our power is and what the implications of that power are. I'm going to invite up a group, or stream 5, that was discussing the narrative, power, and political education. So stream 5, I think you are in that region of the room. If you can quickly come up, and as they come up, stream 4, working on building from below, grassroots organizing, mass mobilization, you will come through after stream 5. Are you able to toy your way to the front so you get here very quickly? No. Yes, is there a question? Oh, you were raising your hand. All right, so here you are. Who's doing the report back? Just check that the mic is on. And your 2 minutes starts now.
Hi, everyone. So we at the Narrative, Power, and Political Education stream looked at, firstly, how we can harness our narrative power within movements. And the discussion centered a lot on the need to unlearn and relearn because of the revisionist history that we are faced with within our various contexts. When I say revisionist history, it refers to the stories that we've been told, the stories that we've grown hearing about the heroes and the people who are portrayed as heroes, when in actual fact, that might not be the case. So there's a need for us to understand what history actually says about these people, what history tells us about our history and our identities, and not get lost within false narratives. Additionally, we spoke about the fact that people think in languages. And on the African continent, for example, we have been enslaved by the colonial language, which has, again, stolen from our African identity and, in a way, colonizes our thinking, our thoughts, our response to life, the visions we have for life, and how we engage in life in general. We also spoke about the need for activists to be engaged in politics to inform our worldview, to turn the narrative away from the power that African leaders have taken, telling the big stories, making the loudest noise in a way that have not always represented the people, and that movement activists could take up the space and provide the correct information that will go towards empowering people rather than dividing us. Thank you. On our power, moving on to our power, we spoke about the fact that we have a common power in the various struggles we have. And the main struggle that can bring us together is the class struggle, where despite our various struggles, be it social rights, economic rights, political rights, sexual minority rights, we are connected by the shared push for a more equal society, and where we are marginalized by the classes in which we find ourselves in. And so if we can come together and recognize that we can work together and be stronger together than divided in our various struggles, we can fight for a better future for all of us.
Thank you so much. I'm going to ask if I can keep your flip charts here. We want to have record of them. And very quickly, as stream 3 comes to the front, had I called for stream 3? Or stream 4, building from below, grassroots organizing. Stream 4, may we have your host and your rapporteur to come to the front and give us your very brief reflections on what our power is and what the implications of that power are. Your 2 minutes starts now.
Thank you. Our group was stream 4. Our topic was on building from below, grassroots organizing and mobilization. Number 1, what brings us together? Unity of purpose. When you're coming together because you saw a need, you saw a shortcoming, and you want to put across a solution. Number 2, our struggles. Whatever you're going through, whatever challenge, is it water, insecurity, femicide, anything that you're going through, those are the struggles. Hope for better. We are all human beings, and deep down in our hearts, we want better. We want our tomorrows to be better. The children whom we're going to bring, the generations that are going to come, we want them to live better lives and lives that are more dignified. Again, our lived experiences, they connect us because we come from different communities where we've undergone struggles, and we have a story. We have that one African story that we can be able to tell from deep within our hearts, and we can be able to narrate this story again and again, and we've formed a community around us so that we can be able to work against it and make change. The other one is desire to act. The fact that you saw a need, you saw a struggle, you have a lived experience, and you want to change that. You want to act something. You want to put action into something that you struggled with, something that you faced as shortcoming within your community, and so there is the desire to act. The African culture. In our culture, you have to believe, you have to agree with me that we don't leave things unanswered. We are always there finding solutions, finding a better thing that can be able to be done to alleviate the suffering, for example, that someone is going through. Again, the determination to win. You have to give up to our African spirit, that we always have all the answers to the challenges that come our way. Is it true or not true? So the desire to win, the determination to win is part of what connects us. Again, our family dynamics. We come from backgrounds where we want to make our lives better, where we want to come around and make our communities to become better and more fruitful. And the last one, the spirit of change. We want to change the spaces that we are in. We want to undertake better things that we are able to fulfill the generations to come so that they are able to be in a better position to say, yes, someone was here. The other one is the implications of it, the quest for freedom. We want tomorrow to be having freedom. And let's sing together, freedom is coming tomorrow. And so that is what in our hearts we are always feeling, that yes, we want freedom, and this freedom should be soon. At times we sing tomorrow, but always we are feeling freedom should be soon. The other thing is our political consciousness, just the feeling that yes, this is what we've been going through, but again, there is a new political consciousness that in our hearts we want to learn, we want to unlearn, we want to do more things and in a better way. The other one is liberation. Who doesn't want a liberated world? Who doesn't want to be liberated from the suffering that they are going through? Again, our implications is that there is dignity of life. Come on. There is no dignity when you're suffering or going through a struggle. And so by having the dignity of your life put back to you, recovered or even discovered, it is very important. Thank you so much.
A round of applause for their stream. And I'm seeing that these are actually overarching and integrating into all of the other streams as well. So thank you for these rich discussions and reflections. I'm going to invite stream 3 on movements and resourcing. Stream 3 on movements and resourcing, where are you? All right, your host and your scribe to please quickly come up and give us your reflections on what our power is that connects us and what the implications of that power is. Please come through very briefly.
With my person and
Viva Africa, viva! Viva! Viva Africa, viva! Viva! So ours is resourcing and movements. So I would like first to talk about my experience and the experience of the Kenyan Gen Zs last year. We leveraged a lot on social media for crowdfunding as our crowdfunding tool. So I'll start with such an important point a lovely lady had said about resourcing. So she said that the most important and most vital resource is not money, it is you. So no amount of money is ever going to compensate each and every one of you for the work that you do. So I hope God bless you, and I'm sending a lot of love and solidarity to each and every one of you. So we talked about how resources work for each and every one of us. We have a lady in the village, maybe with her organization and community organization, how she tapped into the community to mobilize and fundraise for something they wanted to do. So that is how much we're trying to promote the Ubuntu and the Harambee spirit when it comes to crowdfunding. We have so many people who do not have the luxury to get donor funds. We have so many people who can do a lot but don't have the luxury. So we can tap in whatever it is we have as a community for starters. So we must treat public finances as sacred. That's one of the lessons we learned as well. Accountability is all we are after. Good governance, accountability, transparency, and honesty. So we must treat public finances as sacred. That is something all politicians do not understand. That is something we are teaching them every single day. Appointing a trusted and well-known community leaders as campaign ambassador to sway crowdfunding support. So these are some of the things that come up when it comes to, I mentioned resource goes beyond money. So this is combined efforts and money. Comrades from Nigeria, from Ghana mentioned how their protests usually are. They had legal and medical coordination from each other. He said that some people are scared to come to protest, but everyone doesn't have to be at the front line. Everyone can do whatever it is they can from where they are. Some will use tech, others will be at the streets, others will do this and that, others will cooperate to send water to protesters. So that is part of resourcing. So I'm finishing off. I think I've covered mostly. So your why cannot be corrupt. Your good intentions, diligence, and accountability builds trust. I think that covers everything about resourcing and movement. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Please do leave your flip chart on the table. Can you turn to the person sitting next to you and say, you are this movement's most valuable resource? Turn to your other neighbor and say, you are the most valuable resource in this movement. And I hope you believe it as I call up Stream 6, and they were discussing Pan-African and international solidarity. Please come up, your host, your scribe. You have 2 minutes to wrap us up, and then we will move on to our closing session for today. Pan-African and international solidarity. Your 2 minutes, comrade, 2 minutes, I'm going to stand with you, starts now.
Thank you very much, Chair. I think you were sitting down when the others were explaining. I don't know what we have done ourselves. Thank you very much. We're given the thematic area to discuss in terms of Pan-Africanism and how we can be able to assist each other in terms of solidarity. We have accepted as a group and the others that were able to come there that a social movement that doesn't have an idea where it's going to and what it seeks to achieve is not going to achieve anything. It is going to go around circles. We then admitted that there should be a way where ourselves we can be able to craft able within all these social movements. The basics of Pan-Africanism must be established as a basic so that we avoid a situation where ourselves we detach from being Africans in the situations of Africans in accordance with what Africans experience every day. We then proceeded to the issue of solidarity because of time. We say the only thing that can assist us in terms of solidarity, we must admit that we have been supporting each other, not necessarily giving each other solidarity. Solidarity is beyond the issue of sharing a post, but it's practical work that you do for the next brother, which is next to you, and the next brother is or sister who is suffering because of whatsoever suffering that is happening within his confine. We then go further and say it is time that the issues of Zimbabwe or the issues of Somalia are spoken much in other countries where other social movements exist. Not as a by the way thing, but as a routine, and also within our programs, we must have programs that touch base, particularly in other countries' crises. We then further said our problems won't be finished, not unless we admit. I think my dear sister was here when yesterday we were discussing the issue of power, the political power. Our problems won't finish, comrades. In these countries that we're coming from, we got 54 countries. Can you imagine a situation where even though power corrupts even the best? Can you imagine a situation here where social movements have been able to produce 25 presidents of this African continent? And this president that I'm talking about will be products of the social movements. And when we're having this baraza, they will be seated here accounting in terms of how far have they moved with the agenda of this baraza. And we have admitted that there is an issue that we are also facing. There is no unifying issue that unites us all here. You find that there are different issues that are from time to time try to unite us. We have admitted that within the 8 blocks that we have within Africa, if for a start we can call for 8 currencies that must exist within Africa, of which the 8 blocks, they only have 1 different currency each, which means we are going to have 8 currencies. At least that is a demand that each one of us can try to push, and we push respectively in our different blocks. And one last one, we also said there should be at least 8 passports that exist within the continent of Africa as a start, because we are correcting a problem of 400 years. We are trying to correct that. We have 8 passports within the 4 blocks that within the 8 blocks that we have, particularly as a continent, and that is going to literally find ourselves not having the issue of xenophobia. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. A big round of applause, not only for this stream, but for all of us. We have soldiered on, pun intended, and we have come to this point in the baraza. I would like to hand over to Abioko to please tell us what's coming next. Thank you.
Thank you very much. A round of applause. Isn't she amazing? Isn't she amazing? I mean, she's so soft and so glamorous and so graceful, but she gets you to get the work done. We love it. Now, let's reconnect with our creativity, because our minds have been, really, really dug into. We've dug deep, so our minds are heavy. Our hearts are full. Let's bring some creativity here. Where's Human? Yeah. Please, the stage is yours. Round of applause for him. And this is just a taste, a small taste of what you'll be experiencing tonight.
Yes. Salam alaikum. Yenengi si jam. You say wow. Yenengi si jam. All right. Okay, so what we're going to do before I start the program, I just want to say thank you to the organizer of this baraza, especially to my people, the Magamba Network. Big up to you guys. You're doing great. Yes. Okay, are you ready for just some action? Wait a second, please, my brother. Wait a second. I just want to make sure that everybody's in the house. So, this track is about peace. Peace, real peace. Because we just found out that the same people who are in the United Nations are the same people who are selling the more deadly weapon in the world. Are you agree with that? So if you want peace in the world, I want to see everything up like this. So this track is La main levée, le point serré. One track, selector, please. Okay, let go. Yes. Okay. Okay, let go. Are you shy, my brother? Yeah, do your thing. Come on. It goes like La main levée, le point serré. If you want more peace in this world, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, it goes like this. Hey. La main levée, le poing serré, au rendez-vous des combattants pour la paix, j'y serai. Il fait ça like this. La main levée, le poing serré, au rendez-vous des combattants pour la paix, j'y serai. Well read, la main levée, le poing serré, au rendez-vous des combattants pour la paix, j'y serai. La main levée, le poing serré, au rendez-vous des combattants pour la paix. More music, please. Yeah. Le loup chasse l'agneau, mais l'homme est un poison pour l'âme. Depuis la nuit des temps, ce n'est craint pour personne. Le serpent qui fit croquer à Ève la pomme, régnant maître sur terre sous différentes formes. Le diable n'a plus que fourchi ni même des cornes. Il est en smoking à l'arrière de sa Lincoln. Manipule les faits, avance les hommes. Uniforme et joue les pompiers pyromanes, mais personne ne s'en étonne. La main levée, le poing serré, au rendez-vous des combats pour la paix, j'y serai. Ok, la main levée, le poing serré, au rendez-vous des combattants pour la paix, j'y serai. Once again, la main levée, le poing serré, au rendez-vous des combattants pour la paix, j'y serai. Ok, la main levée, le poing serré, au rendez-vous des combattants pour la paix, j'y serai. Well, red, on veut la paix dans la cité, well. Allumer le Pacifique, allumer que le dialogue est droit de cité, dans la cité, well. Hey, c'est plus que les nécessités, well, on veut la paix dans la cité, well. Rallumer le Pacifique, allumer que le dialogue est droit de cité, dans la cité, well. Hey. La paix n'est pas un mot, c'est un comportement. C'est ce que disait Jah au feu le sens du continent. Ceux qui parlent tout le temps de désarmement, généralement sont aussi les premiers en armement, qui viennent jouer les gendarmes du monde impunément, habillés comme des anges, mais c'est un déguisement, parce que c'est les mêmes qui ont armé Saddam et les talibans. C'est les mêmes qui viennent bombarder l'Irak et l'Afghanistan. La main levée, le poing serré, au rendez-vous des combattants pour la paix, j'y serai. La main levée, le poing serré, au rendez-vous des combattants pour la paix, j'y serai. Encore une fois, la main levée, le poing serré, au rendez-vous des combattants pour la paix. Ok, la main levée, le poing serré, au rendez-vous des combattants pour la paix, j'y serai. Well, hey, c'est le même qui ont armé Saddam et les talibans. C'est les mêmes qui viennent bombarder l'Irak et l'Afghanistan. C'est les mêmes qui, après les bombes, nous envoient des médicaments. Everybody jump up like me. 1, 2, 3. C'est le même, 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 c'est le même. Well said. One more peace in this world, more justice. So he said, please up like this, everybody. La main levée, le poing. Okay, you want peace in this world? You want more peace? Okay, it goes like this. Hey, okay. Dans la cité, well. Allumer le Pacifique, allumer que le dialogue est droit de cité. Dans la cité, well. Le poing serré. Hey, 2, 3, le poing serré. Everybody, come on, hey. Le poing serré. 1, 2, 3, le poing serré. Say it again, come on. Le poing serré. 1, 2, 3, le poing serré. Okay, let go. Le poing serré. Are you ready to jump up now? 1, 2, 1, 2. C'est le même, c'est le même, c'est le même. C'est le même, 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 c'est le même. Hey! More peace, more love, more justice. More peace, more love, more justice. No justice, no peace. Jump. One love.